we're gonna launch this E55 AMG with the traction control on, and I'm just gonna floor it. Oh, that's a lot of wheel spin. Oh, that is fast. Okay, now we're gonna... Oh, that's ABS kicking in. In the mid-90s, Mercedes-Benz released the W210 body, which is characterized by its like Mickey Mouse looking headlamps. Now, those cars were revolutionary in a way because of its bold design on the exterior, and it was a relatively good car, plagued with some issues, but still manageable compared to most modern Benzes. But in 1998, Mercedes-Benz, well, AMG, released this one right here. Here we have the 1999 Mercedes-Benz E55 AMG. Today I'm going to show you around this car, and I'm also going to give it a test drive, so stay tuned. Let's start with the front of the E55. So Mercedes-Benz made the W210 from 1995 to around 2002, but AMG only started making this one in 1999 or late 1998. And in the year 2000, Mercedes-Benz updated the W210 to feature like a bumper that has an integrated part with this, as opposed to this separate piece right here. So you can only get this car, this E55 AMG with this body style, this type of pre-facelift kit, for 1 year. And all in all, they only made 12,000 units for the E55. So this car is definitely very rare. Now, this one being an AMG car, you'd expect it not to have a hood star, just like modern AMGs, but this one, it still has that elegant hood star, which we all love. Now down here, you can also tell that it is an AMG because of this revised bumper. You also get this notch right here, which looks really nice. And as you move on over here to the side, just look at the profile of this car. It looks really good, really sleek. It's also a bit lower as well compared to the regular 210 because of its tuned suspension. Now you also get beautiful AMG monoblock 2 rims. These are 245 40/18s in the front, and supposedly 265 35/18s at the rear. However, for some reason, even though I checked that this is a legit E55 AMG, these are not staggered rims. Now, if you move down here, you can also see that there's an AMG badge over there, and this side skirt too, it's also that nice curved shape, just like the front bumper. Here at the back of the E55 AMG, you have your beautiful E55 badge and your AMG badge. And don't worry, this is no ricer. This is the legit car right here. Now here, the trunk. I love how in the 210, you have this nice wedge right here, which looks like a deck lid spoiler. Really like the look. And then what defines the E55 are these smoke tail lamps right here. And as you move on over here, down here, you also get this revised bumper for the AMG line with also the same wedge thing, just like the front and the side. I really like the look. Now you here on the right side, you also get your beautiful AMG twin exhaust pipes, which you shall hear later on in the drive. To open this trunk up, you have two ways. You can either use the key, or you can also press this, just like most old Mercedes. So let's just do that. So let's press that. This entire thing lifts up like that. And once that is open, you reveal this nicely sized trunk. Unfortunately, you can't fold down the rear seats because I think the gas tank is somewhere in there. On your left, you have your CD changer, and as you open this one up, you can also hook this over here. So you just hook it like that, and you reveal not just any spare tire, not just any regular full-size spare tire. You have this AMG monoblock 2 rim spare tire as well. But these are made in 2009, so I don't suggest using that. Finally, to close this one up, there's a thingy pull here, and you just close it down like that. Now up here, one last thing I want to point out are these antennas. These are AMG antennas. It complements the car really nice, that contrast between black and white. Under the hood is the biggest change of the E55 compared to the regular W210. So as you open this hood up, which is a bit hard to open, you're greeted with this 5.4 liter M113 big V8 engine, which produces 354 horsepower and a whopping 530 Newton meters of torque. Now, if you still don't believe me that this is the legit thing, we'll just check this VIN plate right here. So right here it says 210074, which makes sure that this is the legit E55. This engine is just amazing. It's definitely the predecessor to your modern E63 AMGs, and we're going to drive this car in a while. By the way, that is a C36 at the back. I'll also be making a video on that, so stay tuned. You're inside the E55 AMG. First, let's check the stud of the door. Nice solid Mercedes stud. Start it up. So, by the way, your key doesn't have a metal thing. What's important is you don't hold this like regular cars. You just click it once. It'll start like that. Oh, that V8 rumble. Alright, now in this car, I really love the interior of these W210s. They're well laid out, everything's just so ergonomic. So, okay, now we start with the materials. For example, this one, it's all leather padded. This one too, this one on the side, and even this armrest right here. The seats too, they're very comfortable. I love the design on these AMG ones. So, they have a different stitching pattern compared to regular W210s. Now, the steering wheel, it's nice and thick because, well, it is a fast car. And what's interesting about it is that you can even move it from here at the side electronically, just like your seats. And you also get the 3-seating power memory seats. Now down here in the middle, you get so much wood trim. This is the beautiful burl wood trim. You get this slightly newer, updated climate control system, just like what you get in a W140. You get so much buttons right here. You can even press this, which drops the headrest at the back. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Very cool. You even get a windshield washer, and your power lock switches are in the middle. Just very rare for a lot of cars. Now down here, unfortunately, you already get an aftermarket head unit, which doesn't really add to the all original look. But aside from that, it's so nice. You get so much cubbies in here. 1, 2, there's even another one over here. You can adjust your side mirrors all over here. You get an AMG shift knob as well, and you can go all the way to 1. It's a bit tight. So now this being the pre-facelift, you have to manually do it all the way to 1, but the post-facelift one, it has just like a plus and minus thing. So that's an interesting thing to note. That's the difference between the pre-facelift and the post-facelift. Now opening this one up, and you get a nice size cubby with an air vent too inside, which for a car of this age, pretty good. Now finally, you're gonna ask me, Kyle, are there cup holders in this car just like the W124 and older car? No, it doesn't. However, they finally gave you one. So by opening up the glove box, you get 2 jokes of a cup holder. So I don't know what you can put there, but should you want to risk spilling your cup, there you go. You can put it there. Now, this car has parking sensors for both the front and back, so it'll show up here. And there's also that thing you can see at the back, and it'll also beep at you. Up top, you got a sunroof, which is nice and big. Wow, that's really big, and it's quite a hot day right now. Then finally, your gauge cluster. So your gauge cluster, it just reminds you that you're not just driving any W210. It's an E55 AMG because it says right there AMG, and it doesn't go up to like 260 kilometers per hour. No, no, no. It goes up to 280 kilometers per hour. Here at the back of the E55, first let's check the thud of the door. It's a nice long door, which definitely adds to that nice thud to it. Now back here, the seats too, they're different from a regular W210, so the pattern is different. You get 3 headrests, which is really nice. You can even sit at the middle. Now the legroom, this is seated behind my driving position. I am 5'6", and it is great. That's the thing about this car. It's just a really fast car that you can also take your family in and be driven around and comfortably. That is what this car was made for, and that's still what it is today. Now here at the sides, the material, they're very similar to the front. You also get that nice burl wood trim up here. And if you pull this down, you finally get 2 cup holders. And, oh, let me just remove this trim piece right here. And if you pull this even further, you get your first aid kit. It's quite interesting. Now close that one back up. And now, if you want to sit here in the middle, it is definitely doable. Headroom is great because the seats do sink in a little bit, and the car is also nice and wide, so seating 3 people here abreast, no problem at all. Finally, I want to talk about one thing in this car, and it's these switches right here. So on the left, it's your regular window switches, but just in front of that, you get heated seats, and it's even 2-way heated, so you want it slightly hot or very hot. So driving the 1999 E55 AMG W210 body. So when this car was made, the point of this car is to be a sleeper. So it's going to look exactly like your E230 or even your E240 or maybe even your E220 CDI W210. But it can still do that while giving you comfort and then giving you loads and loads of power, which I shall demonstrate now by just flooring it like this. Wow, that's really fast. And the brakes, they really do stop you so much. So AMG definitely made a great work. It's an amazing work. Wow, that's fast. In making this car and tuning it to make it your perfect sports sedan, especially of that time. Do note that this is the predecessor of what today we have a lot of, like the E63s and the M5. This was the car to get back then. So AMG, aside from the engine, they put in upgraded suspension, upgraded steering, upgraded differential, and even the upgraded transmission, which makes it just so perfect even for daily driving needs. So daily driving this car is definitely doable, although the suspension is a bit low. It doesn't really scratch and scrape that much unless there's like 4 people in the car and the humps are pretty high. Like this one, I really have to be very careful. But aside from the suspension, the lowness of the car, it's generally great for daily driving. So for example, on speed bumps and potholes, it's not that bad. It doesn't crash. There's not much jarring that happens inside the car. You don't feel the bumpiness at all. It's quite similar to a regular 210, which before I used to own an E240 W210. It's very similar. It's definitely a bit sharper. It's definitely just slightly, ever so slightly firmer. But aside from that, it's really good. It's perfect in terms of comfort. When it comes to wind whistle and all that, it's also very quiet in this car. Do note that it's not as quiet as your modern cars, definitely so. For example, your doors, they seem a bit thinner, the door card, so that would definitely let in a little bit more wind noise. Then the steering, even if you're driving in Manila roads where you have to turn a lot and the roads are rather small, it's definitely doable. It's not that heavy, it's not powy steering. It's a good system. The thing about the accelerator in this car, it's incredibly sensitive. Now this car has a W, which is like a winter mode, and S mode, which is, well, standard or summer mode, that is not sports mode. And the very moment you put it into S mode, and you just unleash the beast in this car. Put it in W mode, and that's how you want to cruise in this car. It just lags the throttle just a little bit for you to be able to just cruise comfortably. Just a feature I really love with these old Mercs. Transmission is great too. It has really crisp shifts. It doesn't jolt you in any way. It is a 5-speed. It's a 722.6, and I love the 722.6. It's the first like electronic transmission that Mercedes Benz used. It's also the same one in my S320. And for your daily driving, that 5-speed just knows which gear to pick every single time. Visibility in this car is great as well. Being an older car, you don't have your curtain airbags. You do get side airbags, but you don't have the curtains. So that means your A pillars, B pillars, and even your C pillars are nice and thin, so they don't really hamper in the visibility that much. Parking this car, it's a bit tricky because it is a bit long. However, if you're used to driving larger sedans, this is no problem at all. Plus the fact that you get reverse sensors as well. So it is definitely a breeze. So now the moment you've been waiting for, we're gonna launch this E55 AMG with the traction control on, and I'm just gonna floor it down. Oh, that's a lot of wheel spin. Oh, that is fast. Okay, now we're gonna, oh, that's ABS kicking in. This car has really strong brakes. This car is something else. This car does 0 to 100 in like 5.4 seconds. That's what AMG claims, and then when people tried it out, they got the same result, so I'm very happy with that. That road was a bit short and there was a speed bump, so I had to stop, but I'm gonna look for another road, and I'll just launch this car one more time for you. Now let's just launch the E55 AMG one more time, this time with a longer road. In 3, 2, 1. Yes, that is definitely fast. We're now doing 60, 80. Oh, okay, now hard. Jeez. This car definitely has really strong brakes. The brakes definitely won't fail you on this one. AMG made sure that this car will definitely stop, especially given that engine of theirs. So don't worry, when you drive this car, it will stop, and it'll bring your entire face forward and your entire head forward. It's like reverse whiplash, but it'll stop. This car is fun. So in one of my next videos, I'm going to be driving the C36 AMG, and we're going to know if that baby version of this car can hold up and bring you this same sense of driving fun, this driving enthusiasm that it'll invoke in you. One more time. Oh, there's a kickdown feature as well. Oh gosh, yes. Now, I've driven a lot of fast cars before. I've even driven like the GT3 RS Porsche, but I don't know. There's something about this car, this nice sedan. It's a very comfortable sedan, and yet it can deliver that much power. And this tightness of a suspension. It's the car you need. So now if you want to get this car, you can find some for like 800 to 1 million, 800,000 to 1 million. And if you can find one in great condition, just go right ahead and buy it. It's a great car. If you like this video, Please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more car reviews.